everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with another original idea, and I would consider this my first dedicated fall project for 2019. I know a lot of people have already jumped on the pumpkin projects, but I'd like to squeeze in a few apple projects before I start on pumpkins because I really love both. I was in the Dollar Tree a couple days ago and I saw this big oversized kind of catering platter, and I've mentioned before that my house is off the road quite a ways, and I like for whatever's on my front door to be a little oversized so you can see it better. I think this platter is a good size for me to make something. Now this project should cost you about $5 or $6 just depending on what you have in your stash, but my goal is to make it look a lot more expensive than that. You're going to need your platter, some jute twine, a couple picks from the Dollar Tree, some kind of fall colors, and then they had these last year and brought them back, these kind of galvanized metal letters, and this is strictly optional. Thankful, harvest, and welcome. I'm probably going to use one of those. And in my stash I just had some leaves, some raffia, and some jute twine. A lot of times we always have that in our craft stash. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to decorate the back of this platter. I'm going to give it 2 coats of nutmeg brown, the 50-cent craft paint from Walmart. Do a couple coats and then I'll get back with you. My platter is drying. I have a thin little piece of cardboard that I just kind of sketched out a basic apple stem, and I'm going to take my thin jute twine with some hot glue and wrap it completely. Here's what my wrapped apple stem looks like. This side looks better, so this is the side I'll be using. Alright, I got the back of my platter painted with 2 coats, and let me just give you a tip when you're using that 50-cent craft paint. Make sure your first coat dries completely, because if you don't, all you're doing is pushing around wet paint. So let the first coat dry, put on the second coat, and you'll have really good coverage like this. All right, now I just took a piece of scrap paper, and you can tell by my lines that I just kind of sketched it out. I wanted to put an apple on the back of my platter, and this is just going to kind of be my little template. And to create an apple is a pretty basic shape. It kind of starts out like a heart, but the top of the apple is not even going to show when we get done. And you do a little dip up and then back down. That's what will give it the apple shape. If we were doing a pumpkin, you would do like 2 dips to make it look like the ribs on a pumpkin, but since we're doing an apple, it's only 1. I'm just going to kind of take a pencil and trace this apple shape on the back of my platter. Alright, I've got my apple traced on there. You might not can see it real well, but I can with the pencil. It even kind of scraped off some paint, but we're going to cover that up. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I took a little piece of sandpaper and I'm going to lightly distress this basket weave look around the platter, so you'll understand exactly what I'm doing. This just happens to be a roll of sandpaper, and it works out great since this is kind of a curve, but I'm just rubbing it back and forth all the way around until I distress it as much as I want it, just back and forth. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my paintbrush and paint a red apple on the back of my platter. Alright, I'm going to let this dry completely and do a second coat. While I'm waiting for my first coat on my apple to dry, I'm just not really liking the chocolate look. So I went upstairs and I grabbed some Territorial beige. It's just more of a khaki color, and I'm going to lighten this up just a little bit around the apple. Just not liking how dark it is. So hopefully by maybe sponging a little bit of that beige around it, it will take on more of a basket look. I like the look of it a lot better. I think if I had to do it over again, I would have painted the tray white and then maybe went over it with the chocolate brown to give it a real wicker look. But this is fine because in the fall you tend to decorate with darker colors anyway. So I'm going to let this apple dry, and then I'm going to hot glue my jute twine outlining my apple, and then I'm going to hot glue my stem in its place. Loving the look of that. And a couple things I want to show you is I just hole punched a hole here and a hole here and took some jute twine and made a hanger, just a knot and a knot, hot glued my stem on there, and I purposely made it a little higher so it will show. I'm going to put my floral and a bow right here where all that meets, and then put my harvest on there, and then I'll be ready to hang it up and show you. Alright friends, we're outside here and I got my front door propped open so you can get a really good look at this in the natural light and just see how adorable this turned out. Love the little weaved look on the sides. And as far as your little floral embellishment, you could just do anything there to fill in that little space. It doesn't take much at all. And just love the little metal harvest on there. So cute. Does not look like a Dollar Tree platter at all. So I hope you enjoyed this and encourages you to decorate with some apples this season. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.